Joel Crosskill. We begin with news on today's nomination day. The political race for the Southeast Clarendon seat is on. Jamaica Labour Party's candidate Pernell Charles Jr. and an independent candidate, former PNP caretaker of the constituency, Derek Lambert, were nominated earlier today at the Vere Technical High School in the parish. My colleague Robian Williams was there and has our lead story.
The nomination process is now completed, with both candidates expressing confidence in a victory. But who will it be? That we'll have to wait and see come March 2. The day started quieter than a usual nomination day would. Former PNP caretaker Derek Lambert, who noticeably arrived by himself, was nominated around 10:40 a.m. His nomination fee was paid with a $5,000 note and 10 $1,000 notes. When asked about his supporters,
this campaign will start as a little pebble, and it will mushroom and envelop Jamaica.
Back in the 2011 general election, Lambert lost by 107 votes to Rudyard Spencer. And it was over to the Jamaica Labour Party's candidate, Pernell Charles Jr., who arrived with the Prime Minister, the bigwigs of the party, and busloads of supporters. Charles Jr. was nominated at around 12:50 p.m. after paying his nomination fee with three $5,000 notes, bearing the face of former JLP Prime Minister Hugh Shearer, who held that same seat for 2 consecutive years. Charles has a message for the people.
We respect you, and I want to take the time to gain your confidence.
When asked about his challenger,
looking forward to the challenge. It's just the motivation that I need to turn 24 hours into 48. And so Southeast can expect to see me everywhere, all the time.
In endorsing Charles Jr., Prime Minister Andrew Holness says that he is looking forward to a positive result, as it will be a preview of what is to come in the general election.
This by-election will be a test, obviously, for the Jamaica Labour Party's organization in this seat. It will be a test as to the pulse of the people.
The People's National Party refused to contest the by-election, calling it a waste of public resources. In a one-on-one with the PNP candidate, Patricia Duncan Sutherland points out that the party is not supportive of any independent candidate, in reference to Derek Lambert. She also has a message for Charles.
Welcome to Southeast Clarendon, Pernell. I mean, you are here, probably will become the Member of Parliament on March 2nd. But, you won't be here for long, so enjoy it while it lasts.
Politics, the art of possibility. Robian Williams for CVM Live.
The St. Joseph's Hospital in St. Andrew is still the designated coronavirus quarantine facility. This despite protests by Vineyard Town residents over the government's decision. On Tuesday, the Health and Wellness Minister, Dr. Christopher Tufton, defended the move by his administration to use the health facility as a quarantine area. Khadija Thomas reports.
News on a Chinese national showing coronavirus symptoms is enough to get Jamaicans in panic mode. When the government announced that the St. Joseph's Hospital would be a quarantine area, they openly rejected the notion. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, had to meet with residents at a town hall meeting to quell their fears.
St. Joseph's Hospital has been designated, remember I tell you you're going to ask the question after, as one of the many locations that we have identified as a quarantine, not an isolation, but a quarantine location.
However, others also openly disagreed with this plan.
It is sad, Minister, to know that your advisors have advised you wrongly and badly.
Some even offered other options.
If community would have assisted the ministry in finding somewhere to put maybe food for the poor. Right. The schools in the area use the casualty department. Right. Did anybody think about that?
Dr. Tufton attempted to answer.
We are not depriving any of the services. The other services, the hospice, the cancer treatment center, those facilities are remaining there because they are sufficiently apart and separate, and there will be no issue as it relates to the people who use those facilities.
According to him, the government has introduced all the necessary guidelines to keep citizens safe, as all visitors are being routinely screened and checked. Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
The private sector organization of Jamaica and the Jamaica Accountability Meter portal is supporting the appointment of former Contractor General Greg Christie as Executive Director of the Integrity Commission. However, they're calling for the full appointment of other board directors to fill the other roles permanently to function effectively. The Integrity Commission is Jamaica's anti-corruption agency. Christie, who is currently the director of the Integrity Commission of the Turks and Caicos Islands, will take up the position on May 18. He replaces Colonel Daniel Price, who has served as interim executive director since the commission was established almost 2 years ago. According to the Commission, Christie brings his vast experience in the public as well as the private sector. He is an attorney at law who reportedly holds a certificate in business studies. The Commission says Christie has held executive and senior management positions with Kaiser Aluminum and Chemical Corporate. Government to go ahead with mass deportations to Jamaica on Tuesday, a year after the Windrush scandal unfolded. UK activists have been lobbying lawmakers to delay this practice until a report into the fiasco is published. However, Tuesday's charter flight to Jamaica was an indication that the UK government does not intend to follow this principle. Khadija Thomas tells us more in this report.
A year ago, then UK Prime Minister Theresa May sat with 12 Caribbean leaders to make this apology.
Particularly the Windrush generation helped to build the country that we are today. And I want to dispel any impression that my government is in some sense clamping down on Commonwealth citizens, particularly those in the Caribbean who built a life here.
Now, given the apology by the government, the acceptance by Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
We accept the Prime Minister's apology, and I believe that the right thing is being done at this time.
Along with plans to compensate those affected, one would have believed that there would have been no further deportations to other Caribbean countries, specifically Jamaica. However, those promises of justice, fairness and equality appear to have been empty promises, as campaigners criticize the deportation flight to Jamaica, arguing that some of the nationals had no ties with Jamaica and had been convicted of offenses when they were young.
By 1973, anybody who was in the UK who had come from Jamaica, by the 1st of January 1973, they were considered persons with what is called right of abode. That is a right that meant you could live there forever. You had the exact same right as any British citizen. If you left the country, you could stay out for 5 years and return, no problem. It was in the act. You could never be deported.
But what unfolded on Tuesday, despite a court ruling on Monday to stop the charter flight, was a clear message from the UK government that the deportations would not be stopped that easily.
Now, what we're talking about here is ease of deportation. Now, that came in 2007 under Blunkett and Blair. That came in, and there is a memorandum of understanding with many Commonwealth countries, and there's a 2007 memorandum of understanding with Jamaica. We have tried to get that document to understand the dynamics of how easy it is for the British to still act as a colonial power in deporting people from the United Kingdom.
Meanwhile, the Home Office intends to pursue the removal of those who were prevented from boarding the flight due to a legal challenge. Khadija Thomas, CVM Live.
Earlier this week, the president of the Hope Pastures Citizens Association told CVM Live the Member of Parliament for the area, Favour Williams, as well as the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, have neglected the residents in their fight with the Jamaica Public Service, JPS. However, Fayville Williams says this is not true. She says she has been involved in the battle between both parties. Aladdin Love reports.
Our minister and our MP is in charge of electricity. They have not taken this to Parliament, you know.
The president of the Hope Pasture Citizens Association, Michael Williams, refers to a long-standing dispute between the community and the Jamaica Public Service, JPS. The dispute was taken to court by the residents in 2016 in an attempt to prevent the utility company from installing overhead electricity cables. JPS says the underground system has become obsolete and would cost close to $41 million to upgrade at the expense of the residents. The Member of Parliament for St. Andrew Eastern, who is also Energy Minister, Fayville Williams, says she has been well aware of the issue.
I have been to numerous meetings with the former president, former president. We've had many meetings. I have gone ahead and invited the current CEO of JPS into meetings for the community to lay out the issue, for JPS to respond. I've spoken with the lawyer that is taking the case now.
She says if legal documentation states the utility company is responsible for maintaining the underground system at its expense, then she will be in agreement, adding that the residents did the right thing in taking the matter to court.
My preference as a citizen of this country would be for our electrical wires to be underground. I mean, we live in a hurricane belt. Putting things underground would seem to me to be enhancing the resilience of the distribution network.
She adds that removing the wires from overhead will be more aesthetically pleasing. However, this isn't something she can mandate of the utility company as it operates in a regulated environment. Williams notes if this is desired by the country because of issues with resilience, then it will have to be taken to cabinet. Nonetheless, she says the power company and the Hope Pastures community must respect the court's ruling. Aladdin Love for CVM Live.